Hello, my MFA 608 students, and welcome to Module 6. That is 3 more than 3, 2 less than 8. That is Module 6, and it's almost a continuation of Module 5. Module 5, we talked about coaching, and this one we're going to be focusing more on mentoring. Sometimes we use coaching and mentoring interchangeably, but there is a distinct difference, and so those two modules are designed to help us figure that out. Before we get into this, just as a friendly reminder, you need to go to the discussions board, scroll all the way to the bottom, and look, there's even more that's been posted. Fantastic. Class resources. Make sure you continue to add stuff into this because, again, this is something that will be graded in Module 10, and you need to keep adding to that. Okay, so let's get back to Module 6 and figure out the fun that we're going to be doing this module. Learning objectives. Okay, so basically we're going to discuss the mentoring provided to another writer, so we'll do an activity there. That'll be part of the discussion board. We're going to do one of those analyzing roundtable things, kind of like we did in Module 4, where you get to submit your work that you did in Module 5. It's actually that writing assignment, that promotional material. So you're going to take that promotional material, just like we did with Module 4, you're going to post that. You're going to post that as soon as possible into assignment 6.4, and we'll get to that, or 6-4, and I'll explain that a little bit later, so that people have a chance to do peer reviews like we did before, and then we'll talk about the coaching and mentoring and the resources for that. So there's the learning objectives for this module. Go ahead and get to the next part, which is the overview. So, again, I'm going to go ahead and let you read through this, but it's interesting because it's the second paragraph. When it comes to writing, do you need a mentor? No. We're like, well, then why are we even doing this module, right? No, that's not necessarily the case. It's just helping you understand the perspective that people have been successful without necessarily having a mentor, but I would dare say, I don't have any data to back this up, most successful writers or people in the world in general have had a mentor at some level and at some degree to help them along the way. And so there have been people who say, oh, I've never had a mentor, I've done it all myself. Well, good for you. I would dare say you've made it harder on yourself than you needed to, okay? Because mentoring is actually a pretty cool thing, and so we'll focus on that this module. All right, let's move on to module at a glance, and again, these are basically the things that we're going to be doing. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on this slide here because we're going to go through them one by one in the next few minutes here. Okay, so here's the reading and resources. So these two articles right here are excellent. I read through these, and again, since we're trying to understand the difference between mentoring and coaching, just go ahead and read through these. They won't take you very long. It'll help you kind of give you some perspective and maybe kind of help you get some clarity on the difference, and so that'll help you with the assignments for this module. Okay, next we go to, before we get started, there will be another lesson I will post in the announcements. And again, the lessons I do are probably a little different from maybe what you've had from other classes, because I try to do some life lessons to show you that we do a lot of theory and a lot of practice, in academics. And I want to show you that what we actually are learning has real life applications, not only in writing, but in life in general. So I will have a lesson that talks about mentoring, an experience and a philosophy behind that when it comes to that. So if you haven't been looking at these little extra lessons because you're like, oh, there's just one more thing to do, I'm sad because I spent time on these. Okay, anyway, but they're actually designed to be helpful. So hopefully if you haven't gone back and watched those little extra lessons, they're not very long. And the feedback that I've gotten from students is that they get something from them, which is important. Okay, moving on. Alrighty, so there is the next thing, which is it's non-graded. Oh, non-graded, it means I shouldn't have to do it, right? Well, sometimes there's a lot of stuff we do that's not graded that actually helps us with assignments that are graded, right? So there's a scenario, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So if you click on this, it's one of those cool little things that the school's done. It gives you a situation where you this is actually a pretty cool thing. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it gives you kind of a situation where it gets you to think and helps you kind of maybe, open up your mind about the concept of mentoring. So you just hit next to go through that. So absolutely do this because it'll help you kind of, I think, put you on the right path when it comes to the next assignments. Okay, so move on to 6.3. Okay, so discussion, mentoring. All right, this is one of those fun what if, kind of like a role play. So you are on a writing panel at a book festival. I've done this. This is fun and sometimes a little frightening and sometimes a little intimidating. But anyway, it's fun. Okay, so a young person on the second row asks question after question about how to get published. Okay, now others in the room become unsettled at the young person taking up all the question and answer time, and others on the panel begin shaking their heads at the audacity of this person because they're just taking up all the time. But you are intrigued by the questioner, who reminds you a bit of yourself when you were starting out. You think the person has many good questions, and you know that poking and prodding for answers helps authors to take that next fearful step with more confidence and bravado. What do you do in this situation? How do you proceed? All right, so there's your situation, okay? And we're going to do this as a post. You're going to post something in the discussion board, okay? So basically, when you post your situation, again, prefer to use video, okay? But if you just want to type it out, that's fine. But just, do it in the discussion center. And start a new thread and do that kind of thing. Answer these questions. What do you do with the situation? How do you proceed? What advice would you give to the young author? Okay. And then you need to respond to another peer's advice and give your peer advice on their approach. Okay. Do you feel there was effective? What did they do well? Maybe it's a recommendation on something they can consider. So what we're looking for here is that you actually answer this prompt and then respond to at least one more. Okay, just one more. It doesn't have to be whatever. And please, oh please, let's not have 18 people, respond to the same person and have some people have no responses. Now, to be fair, if someone doesn't post their response until late on Sunday night, then they can't expect to get feedback. So it is first come, first serve. Just saying. I'm not saying. Yes, I am. I'm saying. Okay, so there is 6-3. All right, so 6-4. Please pay attention on this one because this is kind of like what we did back in Module 4 where you have completed an assignment and then you're going to give it to the class for them to give you critique. So again, what we did last time, what we did in Module 5 is that you did a cover letter and did some promotional material, cover letter / promotional material, whichever one you wanted to do. And you're going to take whatever you did and you're going to post it into Critique It, which is on the next slide, okay? And then you are going to have at least 2 people review and give you feedback, okay? Now, please, 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 okay? Where does it say this? Do it as soon as possible so your peers have enough time to do your work. Okay, you've already done this. You've already done this assignment, this cover letter. You did it last module. Post it so people have time to give you feedback. Do not wait till the middle of the week. Do not wait till the end of the week. Okay, post your work so people have time to do it. What I saw in Module 4 is that the people who posted early got really had probably the most extensive and helpful feedback from people. The people who posted their work late, they got some feedback or maybe not very much at all because, they waited the last minute and people who were waited the last minute were trying to just get it done. So again, you get out of this class what you put into it. All right, and then the rubric for this one is kind of what we saw before. It's basically the same thing, okay? Did you provide the strengths and weaknesses of the work? Did you have opportunities, for revision? Just kind of it's actually the same exact rubric we used for the thing for Module 4. But this time we're doing it for this cover letter and promotional material. Yeah, so there is that. Okay, and then this is where you would upload it. Now, again, if you don't remember, you just click upload. And again, I have a whole video on this in Module 4 of how you upload a paper and how you add stuff. So you should be familiar with doing this because we've already done this before. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this video showing you that. But this is where you would upload your cover letter. And this is also where you would give feedback to other people. Alrighty. And then last but not least, remember, as I showed you at the beginning of this video, to add to the class resources. I also should let you know that in Module 7 we have a bigger assignment, as a writing assignment, You may want to peek ahead just to kind of get a heads up. These videos, I don't put them out, but they come out first thing Monday morning, like at midnight. So as soon as it becomes Monday, these weekly videos are coming out, but I don't do them more than that because I don't want people to work ahead, because we're kind of supposed to kind of work together. But it may not be a bad idea for you to peek ahead at Module 7 to look at the assignment, the big writing assignment that we have to do. That doesn't sound big. I don't want to frighten you. It's nothing more than anything else we've already done. But it's going to take a little more extra work. So that's it for this week. And so remember to go ahead and once you're done with this, if I were you, the first thing I would do is say, oh, okay, I watched this video. I'm going to take my cover letter / promotion material and I'm going to post it into 6.4. That's what I would do right next. Okay, do that right next. Right next, is that even a thing? Okay, and then after that, watch the other video that I posted for this week that talks about mentoring. And then you can go from there. All right, so let's have a fantastic module, and we will, okay, I guess I should probably say, let's see, because this is coming out, I'm posting this on Wednesday. So this is the week of the 4th of July. Keep in mind that Southern New Hampshire, we just keep plowing through. We don't give extra time. So you don't have to expect, you're not expected to do any work actually on the 4th itself. But be aware that there's no extended deadlines because it is the 4th of July holiday. So keep that in mind and plan accordingly based on your personal situation. All right, and that's it.